Jeff Johnson is Professor of Complexity Science and Design at the Open University. You spoke today at a conference on complex systems. Perhaps you could explain your perspective on the subject.
Well, I take a very policy-oriented view on this. What interests me is policymakers have all kinds of problems that they try to solve, and the issue is that whatever they plan to do, will it work? So that's a question. And if these systems are big and complicated, then generally they need some kind of scientific input for that.
So what sort of benefits can the study of complex systems bring to policymakers?
Well, I think in particular they can also help in the formulation of policy. So I see complex system science in policy as teamwork with the decision makers, both the elected politicians and their officers. And solving problems is creative, is thinking new ways of doing things. And again, the question is, will it work or won't it work? And if you have scientists involved using the kind of methods that we have in complex systems, this can inform the policymaker. So it won't necessarily offer the perfect solution, but the policymaker can understand much better the kind of system they're dealing with and the way it might behave.
So what do you actually do? How do you go about this work?
Well, complex system science is very interdisciplinary, that it can involve people from disciplines like mathematics or the social sciences, computation, and so on. So typically, of course, we have to know something about the system we're looking at. So again, if we're working with policymakers, they do know a lot about their systems. If they're a town planner or if they're somebody in the ministry, if they have wonderful knowledge of their system. But it would involve, for example, making models. So this might involve mathematical models. It would involve domain specialists. If it was agriculture, it would involve biologists, botanists, or whatever. And of course, it would involve computer scientists who would implement the models and run the models in simulations to get some insights as to how the system might behave.
And how would you characterize the significance of this work?
Well, of course, I think it's highly significant. But I think beyond that, it goes back to the question: how can you know? What can we know? And with very complex systems, there are limitations as to what we can know, and indeed, even knowing what we can't know is a good thing. But I would say that what science is offering is a much better insight as to the outcome of policy, and at its best, it's an insight which the policymaker can understand and can relate to and can themselves believe that this is a good way of trying to forecast the way that the policy will pan out.
Professor Johnson, thank you very much.
You're welcome.